This is probably like this one came, just grabbed all the candy left. I don't know what happened with it.
I have 2 jars on my counter.
All right.
I could see loose.
Can everybody hear me okay? Anybody can hear me? Okay, good. Thank you. All right, my name is Judge Kim Mollico. Welcome to First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today we're going to determine if there's probable cause and what any release conditions. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything is being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right in the courtroom. From the Public Defender's Office, we have Assistant State Attorney, Mr. Eric Linder, with us today as well in the courtroom. If you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. Let's call Mr. Shade up. Do we have Tyrone Ferguson?
I can't even do it.
Is he present, Judge? What page is he on?
He was from this morning.
Oh, okay. Let me see. He was.
Hi, Mr. Shade. It's Judge Mollico. You're on speakerphone. You're being recorded. You're in magistrate court. We have your client, Tyrone Ferguson, in front of us.
Okay.
I don't know if this is part of the same. It's an illegal possession of a shopping cart, and then count 2 is a violation of municipal ordinance. Would you gentlemen say that this is the MO is part of the felony case?
Correct.
Or I'm sorry, the misdemeanor case.
Yeah.
This is Tyrone Ferguson from this morning, page 9.
Because that's not one of the ones I noticed from this morning, so I'm assuming that's going to be a distinct case.
I mean, it's
All right, so bond set, hold on, don't hang up yet. So let me do this case at least, okay? So bond set at $100. Court does find probable cause.
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Ferguson pertaining to this case, he wishes to resolve this matter today.
the offer on the state charges withholding court cost.
Well, it all goes together, so what do we do with those? Is there any restitution? That's my concern. What about these 3 shopping carts?
Your Honor, I'm offering a withhold.
Well, insurance isn't the answer, so.
I'm offering a withholding court cost, Your Honor.
Okay, no restitution per state. Okay, withhold and court costs. Withhold. Is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes, Judge. He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your name is Tyrone Ferguson, Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding you want to resolve your case, give up your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down, please. You understand what's going on here today, meaning you're not under the influence, you've never been treated for a mental illness?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you're under the influence, or you've been treated for a mental illness?
You're cutting in and out. The audio, Judge?
All right. All right, sir, put your hand down, please. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
How do you want to plead to illegal possessed shopping or laundry cart and the municipal ordinance violation, which is soliciting at an intersection? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's really involuntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. Withhold on each count. Court costs on count 1, $293, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Damian Fortino.
Judge, he wishes to ask he wishes to ask.
Receive only SSI. I'm a disability.
Judge, Judge, he wants to know if court costs can be waived.
Your
Tell
Honor,
her why.
based on
No.
these
Why?
allegations,
It's on
disability, Chief Hurd.
Okay, no, I don't know if you heard it, because you're my lawyer. I want you to tell her why I asked.
I think the court heard, Judge.
Sir, the court costs are mandatory. We can't waive them. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, thank you very much.
You're
But
welcome.
do
Good
me
luck
a
to
favor,
you.
Explain people that he representing wants to ask a question, and he just can't tell them, let him do it. Let the person ask the question and let him do it. Explain to him, because he doesn't seem to understand that. Thank you, ma'am.
understands his
Thank you.
job. Pretty sure Mr. Romero knows his job.
Okay. Ismail Arroyo.
That's on mine from this morning.
Yep. Ismail Arroyo. Are
Come on
you
up,
here
sir.
on the... All right, sir, you have public drunkenness, carrying an open uncovered beverage in public, and no adult in play area without children. Bond set at $150. I'm not resolving this case today. Yes, court tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. I'll appoint you, Mr. Shade, okay? In front of Judge Cole, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
And Judge, Mr. Fortino is here.
Hold on a moment. I got to do the MO cases. Give me
His
one
attorney
moment.
isn't here.
I don't think we have any other ones. Let me just look in my new file, Mr. Shade.
Excuse me, you didn't even call me to ask me any questions before.
These are city cases.
It's because of one, because I didn't make it to court. Homeless. Homeless.
We can hear you.
Homeless because homeless steal from others on the beach. I wasn't homeless when my things were stolen from me. Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I became homeless because of someone when I wasn't homeless and I had a job. I was working for a garage working on cars. When I ended up at a beach one day and I ended up going into the bathroom, my bike was locked outside.
This is
My
your
book bag
client
was on my...
talking. Go ahead.
My book bag was on the bike. Next thing you know, when I come out, it was stolen. And I didn't know it until months later that there are a lot of people that are homeless that they steal from others. That's why I became homeless now. Now I'm back out. This is my first time here in Florida, and I'm homeless stuck there in the beach. It's the only place that's easy for me to survive in the beach until I finally get an ID back, and then I go back to work. I have jobs that were even offered me in the beach where I was staying at. Because they know I'm a good person. I try to help out.
Okay. All right, well, tomorrow you are going to go before Judge Cole, and your attorney, Mr. Shade, will be there. He can recommend a place called Henderson Centralized Receiving Center, and you can talk to him about going there. Or there's a bunch of other places that are available that could help you if you need to find a place to live and you need some assistance, okay? So just wait till tomorrow morning, sir. You'll see Mr. Shade. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Shade, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did, Judge. I'll be there tomorrow morning.
All right, so who else do you have? I don't have anybody here unless it's on a second look.
No, there was 14. His name was John Brady.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up.
On page 14 from this morning's docket, but he also had a felony, so you may have already...
Yes, we did him. He was part of it. That's the one that urinated on the bus or something.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later. If we need you, we'll call you. We know where you are.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
That's all I can say.
Someone call up Josh Rydell and see where he is, please. J. Havon Hearn. J. Havon Hearn. Is he here?
County, Your Honor.
Thank you.
He's still in process to get back to the unit.
All right, so you want us to recall him, or what do you want us to do? Because this way he can go to court tomorrow. How long do you think he'll be?
Well, as soon as he gets back to the unit, he's down. The buses just came back shortly. He's being processed.
All right,
and then
I'll put
taken
him
to the
on
unit.
recall for you.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Without confinement today?
Crystal Barron.
What's up?
Crystal Barron, does anybody know where they are? Anybody tell me where Crystal Barron is? Can someone look it up?
North Broward.
North Broward.
She was in downtown domestic court, ma'am.
All right, when is she coming back? Do you know? Can you find out?
I can do that. I can find out.
All right, I'll put her on recall. Let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Marquise Wright.
Mr. Wright is your presence, Judge.
Yeah, you come out with my bond plea. I can't afford no high bond plea.
Okay, so Mr. Wright, you have charge number 17, petty theft, between $100 and $300, bond set at $100. This is an ad charge. Any no return state? Hello. You can give Ivy one.
Judge, on Mr. Wright, regarding count 17, we're going to be asking for an ROR.
He's already been ordered not to return to this location.
What is it? I just want to put it on my thing.
I understand, Judge.
They dropped the overcharge, or so
No,
I want it on this
it's been
one.
filed, Your Honor. That's why it's
I
here.
understand, but you never know.
Nope.
No return to,
3101 West Sunrise Boulevard.
what is it?
3101 West Sunrise Boulevard.
Where's that?
Sunrise.
Okay, no return, sir, to that address, ROR. Thank you. Connie Boyd.
Believe bonded, Judge.
Here, I have a present for you, Ivy. Figured it'll motivate you for this afternoon. Yep. Okay. Connie Boyd, did she bond?
I believe so.
Yes.
Ivy? Connie Boyd, did she bond?
Yes.
Okay. Soraya Ludwig Tybe.
North Broward.
North Broward.
North Broward, Ms. Tybe, Soraya.
Yes, ma'am.
Soraya Tybe, T-I-B-E.
Approaching, 1 second.
Thank you.
Soraya.
So much cash.
Approaching, Your Honor.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay.
All right, so you have a drug paraphernalia possess and or use, $100 bond, court finds probable cause. You do have an out-of-county hold for a felony.
Yes,
With a
ma'am, I
10
do, and I don't have the $100 bond for here.
All right, well, in any way, you have the Collier County, it's for grand theft, $10,000 bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Would you consider releasing Ms. Tybe on her own recognizance on count 1 so she can go to her out of county, which I believe Collier County can come and get her?
I don't have a problem with it. The only thing I'm wondering is, do you have any objection, state?
No.
All right, ROR per state and defense.
Thank you.
Remember, you're going to have to come back and resolve this paraphernalia charge, Ms. Tybe. It's not over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck to you.
Sean David Miles.
Thank you.
Sean David Miles, please.
He's here at main, Judge. He's at the podium.
What are we doing with this case? Are we resolving it?
He wishes to resolve.
All right,
Judge.
all right, so state will give us an offer. Sir, you have drug paraphernalia, possess and or use, $100 bond, pedestrian failure to cross in crosswalk. No bond required, it's actually a civil traffic infraction. Court does find probable cause.
Mr. Miles was placed on pretrial supervision on the 14th of October in case number 18-12659, CF10A for account of possession of cocaine, possession of marijuana, driving with a suspended license, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Based on this court's finding of probable cause, we're going to ask that his pretrial status be revoked at this time.
Okay.
Judge, this is a misdemeanor offense. My understanding is the initial encounter by law enforcement with Mr. Miles is for him jaywalking. He approaches Mr. Miles, and then, according to, I believe, the PC affidavit, law enforcement says Mr. Miles then suddenly just takes out a crack pipe from his pocket. That seems that there's more to the story than what is alleged in the PC affidavit. Having said that, Judge, considering he's out on a case, I ask you at this time to consider also releasing him on pretrial release on this case, and with maybe more stringent, release conditions. If you only ordered to report or not report at all, I'd ask you at this time to have him report at least once a month. And as far as contacting pretrial via phone, I wouldn't have any objection as far as adding to the number of times he has to call pretrial in order to report.
Well, I mean, Your Honor, again, the offer in count one, if he wants to resolve, is adjudication time served. As far as the pretrial issue, I mean, Your Honor tells defendants yourself when you put him on pretrial, go to court, don't get arrested again. 2 weeks later, he's getting arrested again for a similar type matter. I don't know that more calling in more or appearing to pretrial is going to have an impact on that, the obvious issue here, which is his drug use.
Anything further?
One moment, Judge.
What's the conditions of his pretrial?
Report 2 times per week by phone, not in person.
Judge, I talked to Mr. Miles, and I did advise him that he wishes to accept the state's offer. That's what he wishes to do. But I did advise him by him resolving this case, it might have a negative impact on his future case, especially when he's out on. It would go on his criminal history sheet. I believe the points would be .02 on this misdemeanor offense, but he still wishes to resolve this matter today.
He was supposed to go for a drug evaluation.
Yes,
I did, ma'am.
Within 10 days, and it's been 10 days, and random testing. Did they?
I have complied with that. I went to BARC. I also went to the hospital for a medical release to go to BARC so I get my evaluation. I did do my evaluation on the 10th day.
Do you have any money to pay bond?
No, ma'am, I don't.
What's your offer, state?
Time served, adjudication time served.
All right, let's deal with this first. Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, your name is Sean David Miles.
Correct.
Mr. Romero is telling me that you want to give up all your rights to a trial. You can put your hand down, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
How do you want to plead to drug paraphernalia, possess and or use? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
All right, court's going to accept your plea. Find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file. Finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication time served, $293 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, Conti?
Yes, give me one moment.
Okay.
I just have to finish up one thing.
Okay.
Who's that?
Mr. Hearn that you asked for earlier?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I'll be with you in one moment, sir. All right.
You're not gonna take any action on it.
Well, I am, but I'm trying to think of what to do.
Oh, because he left us, all right.
Come, sir.
Trying to think of, I'm revoking his pretrial, but
Sir, come on back.
Go back. What are those? No, down to the right.
Come on back.
we have to deal with I'm revoking your pretrial. We're gonna deal with that, your other charge. So it's a question of, I am placing you back on pretrial, but it's whether I do a bond. So I'm gonna require you, within 48 hours of your release,
Yes, ma'am.
to show proof that you did a drug evaluation. Is that what it was?
Okay.
A drug evaluation?
May I iterate on that? Sometimes it takes 7 to 10 days just to get the evaluation because of their appointments are so backed up. So it's like really hard to implement that. And that's all. I've complied to the best of my ability on that exactly.
But you said you did do one.
I absolutely did do one on the 10th day at Bark, the new Bark location.
So
then why can't you show proof that you did that?
Right, we don't need evaluation, just something to say.
Don't have papers on me.
All right, you know what?
Go back there.
I'm going to revoke his pretrial.
Oh,
Count
now I
one.
understand.
Count one. Hold on.
Oh, so that's what I
This
misunderstood.
is what I'm
ma'am.
doing.
I'll bring the paperwork.
$1,000 bond on count one. ROR on 2, 3, and 4.
I misunderstood.
Judge, you financially can't post that bond. And he misunderstood is what he's telling me.
I
He
just
can get that
misunderstood,
paperwork.
ma'am. I have the paperwork.
Where is it?
It's at my house. It's in a folder at my house. I just misunderstood what you were saying, ma'am.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I want him
Yes,
to
ma'am.
show proof within 24 hours of release, since it's at his house, it's at home, of drug evaluation. And I'm going to put him on GPS level 2. I want random testing 1 time a week. Thank you. Okay, where's Mr. Rydell?
Hi, Judge.
You ready?
Popped up.
We'll wait for you, no big deal. I got someone else I can take.
The willingness of the court to
No
see me this
problem.
morning.
I can take someone else, that's fine.
I'm good to go, Judge.
Do you want to talk to your client?
No, Judge. I'll just make arguments in terms
All
of
right,
his
so
release.
Mr. Hearn, give me 1 moment, okay? And I'll be with you right after this one case. Don't go anywhere, just have a seat,
Judge, thank you so
okay?
much again for the ability of seeing me this afternoon.
Okay, who are you here on?
Mr. Fortino, Judge.
I don't know where they are.
No.
Okay, Damian Fortino, where are they? Main jail? All right, are you Mr. Fortino, sir?
Yes.
All right, do you see your attorney, Mr. Rydell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, you are charged with stalking, follow, harass, cyberstalk another. Court does find probable cause. What say you state with regard to bond?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $10,000 bond. No victim contact, directly or indirectly. If Mr. Fortino does post his bond, I'm asking that he be supervised by pretrial release services with a GPS monitor. Your Honor, I can advise the court I spoke with the alleged victim this morning. She does have safety concerns. I have concerns based on the allegations. I can tell you that the alleged victim also has obtained a temporary injunction order of protection against Mr. Fortino. I don't believe it's been served yet. There is a final hearing that is set for November 7th at 10 a.m. in courtroom 10150. Additionally, his criminal history: 2015, possession of cocaine with a violation of probation; 2010, possession of oxycodone; 06, failure to comply with lawful order; 96, possession of cocaine.
Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Sure. Hello.
Judge, a couple quick things that I think are important. My client does have a couple of drug priors, some of which he's actually completed drug court for, and he's never been a convicted felon. So as he sits here, this isn't a man that's a convicted felon. It's important to note, even though the state insinuated what they did. The secondary issue is now the PC is interesting, to say the least, and I'm not going to argue PC today to the court. I'm just going to argue bond and danger to the community.
All right, hold on, Mr. Rydell. Can you do me a favor, sir? Can you hit that mute button? It's in the middle of that bar in front of you, please.
You're talking to my client, Judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I can hear you because
I'm usually pretty loud.
the vocals in here are horrible.
Judge, in regarding pretrial release, here's what I'm going to suggest to the court. As it stands, I would suggest to the court a $5,000 bond. If the court, as it sees fit, is going to offer some sort of pretrial release, I would ask for the conditions as such. Standard pretrial release with a GPS monitor. I don't think my client needs to be on lockdown. He has a job. He has a career. He works. There's nothing in the PC that indicates an immediate threat. I think Mr. Linder made an interesting point of saying that there's an injunction in place, and my client is de facto on notice of that based on this hearing. I can assure you, after I speak to my client, I don't think there's going to be any issue with contact or anything of the sort based on this. So based on what I suggested to the court, I don't think me and Mr. Linder are that far apart, but I think if the court institutes a $5,000 monetary bond with just standard pretrial, but with a monitor, I think that meets the needs of everybody. It allows my client, for lack of a better term, the freedom to work, and he does and will understand that he will stay away.
We can do a GPS level too, that's not a problem.
Well, I'm not asking, I'm asking for standard with a GPS.
Standard means
He's
there is
asking
no
for a
GPS.
GPS level too.
Yeah,
I mean, they order it all the time in division courts.
Then they order it incorrectly.
Well, I mean, I think, doesn't pretrial work for the court system?
Well, I think what happened.
Josh, trust us.
You tell me to back off it right now? Then I'm asking for not a GPS, Judge. I'm asking for standard pretrial release then.
Okay, all right. Everybody has different names in different courtrooms, I learned, especially when I first started this division. So.
You're an expert at it now, Your Honor, so I will defer to the court, but I will say this, whatever the court's going to order, that there's no, Madam Pretrial, that there wouldn't be a schedule. Would that?
Well,
there's
I don't think she likes me right now.
Well,
let me ask you this. What does your client do?
He's in the landscape business, Judge.
And who does he work for?
He works for a company, he works for himself. There's a couple different facets of work that he does.
Okay, what days does he work and what are his hours?
I mean, that type of business is every day. I've known Mr. Fortino for, if Mr. Linder wants to look back, I've been his lawyer for 10 years.
Okay.
This man has never exhibited any violence to the community or anything. I've known this man and his family for a very long time.
Okay.
Your Honor, if the court is going to impose a GPS, then I would argue that I think level 2 is necessary. And frankly, based on these allegations, and I would note specifically, on one occasion, he had flowers sent to the victim's place of work with a card that read, "Happy birthday," with her name, "Your friendly neighborhood stalker." He then showed up at her home one day, unannounced, knocking on her door. And when she first asked him what he wanted, he just blankly stared at her, then offering her out of nowhere.
I thought that was someone else that said that.
No, it was him, Your Honor.
It was a sister.
The sister.
What?
But it doesn't matter. Someone at the home. The victim's sister.
Okay. Still concerning, Your Honor. I mean, it does appear a connection. It's the victim's sister. Your Honor, I would note, lastly, and probably the most disturbing, is what he wrote on his Facebook account in the second to last paragraph on the last page, Your Honor. And I won't go into the details of what's mentioned there, but it is of great concern.
Guess something tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know, frankly, even the first sentence, I don't know what he's referring to, but I can understand how someone could be terrified when someone is, for lack of a better term, stalking you, and they use the word murdered in any context in a sentence with your name in it.
Well, it says Dina and Damien go up a hill. Damien got murdered.
And Your Honor, I have no idea what that means, but frankly, if it involved me, I would be alarmed. Just the mere mention of that word.
And Judge, I think this PC, you did find PC. I think this is a little bit, I'm not diminishing the severity of it, but I think it's clear, it's very clearly in here that the complainant in this matter reached out to a friend in law enforcement, and a friend in law enforcement generated this PC in whatever capacity did it. I think as we sit here, my client has to be looked at in terms of his background, which consists of no violence, never missing court, and always coming to court. So I asked the court to take those factors into consideration.
My concern is the nature and probability of intimidation and danger to the victim. I mean, and I don't want to like inflame the situation.
Your Honor, I would just note, I don't know if Mr. Rydell's implying that the police officer that she's friends with is the same officer that wrote this report.
Well, I don't know. I think it's telling that that statement is in a probable cause affidavit is all I'm referencing.
The officer's putting all the information he has. Clearly it wasn't him because he doesn't refer to the victim spoke with me, says a friend.
Here's the part. It says when the alleged victim told him, "I'd appreciate it if you please stop," he said, "Sorry to have bothered you." And then later that evening, he changed his profile picture to him holding an axe and multiple angry postings on his timeline regarding the victim. So the court does have a concern. This is what I'm going to do, unless you have something further you'd like to state.
Not at this time, Judge.
Okay. So I'm going to do no victim contact, obviously, direct and indirect, and maintain 1,000 feet minimum.
And Your Honor, I apologize because I just didn't, it was my mistake. I didn't realize the alleged incident when he appeared at the sister's home. I didn't realize it was the sister.
I got it covered.
Thank you.
GPS, I am going to do a level 2, no return to, I'm not going to state the address online, but I'm going to give you the address. It's the one on Southwest 120th Terrace, Davie, Florida. And I want him to maintain 1,000 feet. I'll do a $6,000 bond, okay?
Judge.
All right, thank you.
Well, no, Your Honor, what I was going to be requesting,
Okay.
because there's
I thought you meant no return.
No, there's an allegation that he went to a family member, so I'm going to ask that the no contact include family members of the alleged victim, 1. 2, I'm going to ask that the no contact order with the victim include where she lives, but also her place of work and any place she frequents.
I mean, I obviously, legally, I have no objection to Mr. Linder wanting one for her work. I think that, it's called for, just with what he's suggesting, but I don't think you can make a blanket suggestion of anywhere someone frequents.
Your Honor,
That's a vague proposition.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to do frequent, but he's got to maintain 1,000 feet.
That's fine. We have no objection to
More
that.
than 2 football fields, so. But the minute he sees her,
Walk the other way. I understand,
walk
Judge.
the other way, and if he sees her at a Publix, he's not to go to that Publix.
I understand,
anymore,
and I'll advise
okay?
my client accordingly.
So at the victim's work, and I usually say wherever the victim may be located. So just let him maintain 1,000 feet from them.
Understood.
That's what the meaning of it is, okay?
I understand, Judge.
All
And I'm going to talk to my client. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all.
Okay. So no return to that 120th Terrace. Just won't put the house number on there. And no access or use of Facebook. And that's basically it. Anything else?
I'm from the defense.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Rydell. Any of you gentlemen? Okay, good. Nice to meet you. All right, Miguel Ruiz. North Broward. Okay, North Broward. All right, Mr. Ruiz, you have some ad charges: burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. Counts 8 and 9. 10 is grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond set of $5,000 account, total of $15,000. Court finds probable cause. Court's going to order no contact with the alleged victim with the initials SG. And your attorney can tell you who that is. And no return to, what is it, La Guadalupana? Is that the correct name, State?
It would appear so, yes.
Okay, and no return to the restaurant La Guadalupana, located at 3937 West Davie Road, West Davie Boulevard, excuse me. Do we know what town that's in?
Yes, ma'am.
Not
Don't
asking
say
you,
anything, sir.
This,
Fort Lauderdale, I
yeah,
believe.
it would appear this is for water.
It says Fort Lauderdale police number. Okay, what say you?
Your Honor, Mr. Ruiz has some no bond violation of probation holds. I'd ask you to leave the bonds in place.
Okay. All right, sir, so we'll leave the bond in place. And SG is the owner of La Guadalupana, okay? Thank you, good luck to you.
Your Honor, North Broward has an update on Miss Crystal Barron. I understand that she is still downtown and will probably not be available this
All
afternoon.
right, so then let's just reset her for tomorrow, no problem.
That would be fine, Judge. Thank you.
What about Javon Hearn? We gotta go back to
He's at Conte.
He's been patiently waiting. Thank you, sir. All right, sir, so you have a KPS traffic operating without a valid DL. Hand charge, $1,000 bond signed by Judge Hurley. He has a court hearing tomorrow. What's counts 1 and 2?
He's got a court-ordered hold, no bond on a burglary, and a $2,500 bond for sell
So
cocaine.
he has a no bond hold?
Yes.
All right, we'll leave the bond at $1,000. You'll see Judge Christopher Pohl tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on this charge. You can resolve it then or discuss what you're going to do with it. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, okay?
Okay.
And thank you for your patience. Cesar Lopez, please.
Judge, I'm being advised he's in federal court.
Okay. So can we reset him for tomorrow, Madam Clerk? Cesar Lopez, okay? Morning. E-roll Curtin.
He's here at Maine and approaching.
Hello, Mr. Curtin. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Fine, thanks. You have possession of weapon or ammo by a convicted Florida felon. We need to talk about bond. You have trafficking in heroin between 4 and 14 grams, $75,000 bond. Count 3 is possession with intent to sell, manufacture, deliver heroin, $2,500 bond. Count 4 is possession of alprazolam, also known as Xanax, $1,000 bond. 5, 6, 7, and 8, we need to talk about bond, just like count 1, which are also 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all possession of a weapon or an ammo by a convicted Florida felon. And same as counts 9 and 10. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'd be asking that first that the court keep the bond on count 2 in place, Mr. Curtin faces a 3-year minimum mandatory prison sentence if convicted.
Okay.
On count 1, I'd be requesting a $15,000 bond. On count 5, a $5,000 bond. I have no objection to an ROR on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As history, felony possession of cannabis in 2016, DUI 2014, violation of a domestic violence injunction 04, possession of cocaine 98, tampering with evidence, resisting without violence and battery 98.
Spence?
Judge, as you heard, it's been a number of years since Mr. Curtin has had any sort of priors. He's 39 years old, been living here his whole entire life. He's currently working. He works at Abercrombie and Fitch, and he's been working there a number of years. He makes approximately $10.45 an hour. He lives in Hollywood with his sister. Right now, the person that he's going to be reaching out to post his monetary bond is his elderly grandmother. From what he advised me, she is on Social Security and on a fixed income, Judge. I know he pays about, from what he informed me, about $600 per month in rent. So, Judge, naturally, on count 2, he's not going to be able to come close to posting the $75,000 bond. I'm going to ask the court to consider reducing that bond to $7,500. On count 1, I'm going to be asking for a $5,000 bond. I'm going to be asking on count 5 a $2,500 bond. And I'm going to be asking an ROR on count 6 through 10.
All right, count 1, 10,000, count 2, court's gonna do a $50,000 bond. Count 3, 2,500, count 4. I'll do an ROR. I am gonna do a GPS open schedule. He's gotta pay the bonds first before they'll fit him with the GPS. Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Total is $60,000.
You're going to be a 5 through 10.
5 through 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are ROR. Thank you. Javon Springer.
Mr. Springer, I've been advised is a medical reset.
Main jail? Be at the main jail?
This is
Yes.
Okay, thanks. I just realized you have on an orange tie.
Halloween.
I know. Okay. Gabriel Perez.
Bonded. Mr. Randolph should be next. Come on up.
Glenn Randolph.
And Your Honor, I'd ask to be heard on count 3 before the court makes
Go
it.
ahead, tell me what it is.
It should be attempt.
Attempted robbery with a firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Mr. Randolph, good afternoon. You have robbery. No firearm or weapon. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is a probation violation. You have a no bond hold. Count 3 is attempted robbery. Is that with a firearm?
Yes.
With a firearm, excuse me. And count 4 is a probation violation. Court does find probable cause. You have a hearing tomorrow before Judge Dennis Bailey at 8:30 a.m. What say you, State, with regard to counts 1 and 3?
Your Honor, I'm going to be asking for a $15,000 bond on count 1 based on the allegations, the level of violence alleged. On count 3, I'm going to be requesting a $50,000 bond, noting the alleged use of a firearm in that matter, all while both offenses, all while being on probation for shooting at or throwing a deadly missile, burglary of a conveyance, and 2 counts of battery, 1 count of criminal mischief. He just got off community control. Looks like whenever he got out of county jail in February of this year. So he's already, one moment. Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, what say you?
Judge, I'm going to be asking for on count 1 $5,000 and on count 3 $20,000. He's 21 years old. He unfortunately was just recently working at a property in their maintenance department, making about $13 an hour. He lives with his family in Margate. They rent an apartment they do not own. And I already spoke with Mr. Randolph. I know El Nobani is going to have to see his division judge. But the $65,000 that the state is suggesting is something he cannot afford, and that's why I'm asking for a total of $25,000 bond on Mr. Randolph's behalf.
Your Honor, I just want the court to be aware of the case that he's on probation for.
I see.
While the case was pending, he was on pretrial with the GPS. He was picked up for violating, allegedly on 3 occasions. He was going someplace he wasn't supposed to. The place he went is the same park that he allegedly committed the strong arm robbery at.
That's what I'm looking for, the name of this park. I don't.
It's Castlewood City Park.
Castlewood?
Yes, ma'am.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials JLS. No return to Castlewood Park, located at Castlewood City Park, 3800 Northwest 115th Avenue in Coral Springs. GPS level 2. You're going to have a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. No, you can't do it, but I'm going to say it anyway. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. I want you to maintain 500 feet from JLS and 500 feet from Castlewood City Park. Court does note that you're on probation and for a serious offense. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Your Honor, the
10 on 1, 50 on 3.
And the only other thing, I don't know if you did, I apologize. No contact with the alleged victim of the.
What is it?
No contact with the alleged victim of the attempted robbery firearm.
JLS.
No, that's the strong arm robbery.
Okay, give me the other one then.
ADP.
Okay, so no victim contact, direct or indirect, with JLS and ADP.
And no return to 2251.
2251.
North University Drive.
North University Drive.
In Coral Springs.
Coral Springs.
Thank you, Judge.
And maintain 500 feet from that address minimum. Tracer Rustad. It's Wednesday.
He's approaching, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Rustad, good afternoon, sir. You have burglary, unoccupied conveyance unarmed for counts 1 and 2. Count 3 is carrying electric weapon or device, $100 bond. Excuse me, court finds probable cause. What say you, state?
I need a moment, Your Honor. I need to put his information in the system.
Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials AC and DCL. Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Romero, before Mr. Linder tells us what the bond is?
No, I'll wait for Mr. Linder.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting bonds in the amount of $7,500 on counts 1 and 2.
Each?
Yes, my concerns are, it appears Mr. Roustat has lack of ties to the community. Both on the booking and the affidavit, it shows the Plymouth, Minnesota address. I also see a substantial history out of the state of Minnesota. It would appear he's been to state prison in Minnesota. It's like for one moment, Your Honor. Check forgery, burglary.
What's the time frame on those?
2016.
Yes. Okay.
Theft, additional burglaries. Possession of burglary tools. And, 2017 out of the state of Wisconsin, resisting or obstructing an officer. And lastly, nothing further, Judge.
Judge, Mr. Rustad did relocate from Minnesota down here to South Florida. At this time, the good news is he's found work. He's working for a company called Manly Tree Service. He's been there employed for about 6 months. He gets paid about $100 a day. Unfortunately, at this time, he is homeless. He has a mailing address, though. It would be the address of his parents who reside in Minnesota. Judge, right now, he's basically financially indigent. He owns no sort of property. We'd be asking the court to consider on this third-degree felony, Judge, a $1,000 bond on count 1 and a $1,000 bond on count 2.
Okay, based on his length of residence in the community, court's going to do $3,000 on 1, $1,000 on 2, all ROR on count 3, no victim contact, direct or indirect, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Total is $4,000. Thank you, sir. Donovan Thorne.
Mr. Thorne, come on up, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thorne. You have false ID given to a law enforcement officer, $100 bond. Count 2 is possession of methamphetamine, $1,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of, I hope I say this right, gamma hydroxy butrix, GHB, $1,000 bond. Possess and or use drug paraphernalia, $100 bond. Obstructed by disguised person, $100 bond. 6 and 7 are not for magistrate, they're just civil traffic infractions. Driving while license is suspended without knowledge and disobey or avoid a traffic device. They're actually not for magistrate. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, my understanding, speaking with Mr. Thorne, is he advised me he has a clean record. He's 56 years old. Right now, he is taking care of his friend, who's my understanding is elderly and sick. Right now, friend is not in a not in a position to post Mr. Thorne's monetary bond. Considering these are all non-violent offenses, Judge, I ask the court to consider an ROR or in the alternative pretrial release.
How long has he lived here in Florida?
It's about 4 months. He came from Pittsburgh, Judge, to actually take care of his friend. And his friend's residence is in Boynton Beach.
I see no criminal history, Judge.
Laura Warm. Thank you. Peterson Jokum.
Northbound.
Hello, Mr. Jokum.
Hello, George.
You have a change of charge to kidnapping armed. So it was now it's the change of charge to armed kidnapping. Court does find probable cause. You are going before Judge Lynch tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court finds probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor had his co-defendant yesterday. You found proof evidence
presumption great.
for just kidnapping before, and yes.
Is that what you're asking for here?
Yes.
Remind me of the facts of this case. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just one moment, Judge.
I can't remember them all.
I understand.
I can look it up too.
This involved the doctor?
Okay, so I remember. The meet me or meet up or, I remember.
Exactly. At the ATM. And
Yes. Okay, what say you, Mr. Reedy?
Is the state moving for the court to find proof evident presumption great?
yes, based on the previous finding.
We would reserve any argument regarding that issue until Mr. Joachim can appear before his division judge, in light of the fact that he has currently no bond holds on count 1 and count 5.
Okay, give me the victim's initials, doctor, and then the doctor's initials.
KC.
Dr. Casey. Make sure Ivy's copy is very clear. Okay. All right, so, Mr. Jokum, I reviewed the probable cause affidavit and other documents in your case, and I find probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great. Therefore, sir, on this armed kidnapping charge, you are going to be held without bond until further order of the court. This order serves without prejudice for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. Court's also going to order no victim contact, and that's even if you're in jail with the alleged victim in the case, who is a doctor, and his initials are KC. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your waiting today. All right, so first person we're going to take is...
Judge, if I could, there was one gentleman on the regular docket that we skipped. I don't know if the court did that on purpose, or maybe paperwork got caught up, or...
What's his name?
And it's Mr. Etienne Dazel on page 6. He was the co-defendant of Mr. Glenn Randolph that you did.
Looks like he's reset till tomorrow.
Why? Is he there?
Because
He's right here.
All right, bring him up.
we don't have his paperwork.
Etienne Dazel.
We don't have his paperwork. He was reset because he's on probation before Judge Cohen, so they reset him for the felony domestic docket tomorrow.
Oh, so he's on felony domestic docket
Tomorrow morning,
Okay.
yeah.
But wouldn't he still have to be magistrated on counts 1 and 3?
He's going to be in front of Judge Cohen tomorrow morning.
Well, hold on a second. I made an agreement with Judge Tudor and Judge Cohen that if I get something in here
When we have-
for domestic, felony domestic, that I'm going to do it because what happened is, I'm just telling you,
I'm
Eric,
aware of the agreement, Your Honor. That the agreement, my understanding was, when we have the paperwork and the defendant's here, we don't have the paperwork for him.
well, we can go get the paperwork. He's here. He was here this morning,
Okay,
wasn't
but my understanding, when you explained the agreement to us, that wasn't the agreement. The agreement was,
Okay,
we have
he's
the
here.
paperwork and someone's here.
Let's call up the clerk's office and get the paperwork for him. Was he here this morning and we reset him?
No.
No.
So why did they bring him here? Do you know?
I have no idea.
When was he arrested?
When were you
Because
arrested?
they didn't look at the docket where it says reset for tomorrow, domestic, Judge Cohen.
It
domestic
does
violence.
say that?
On the docket, yeah.
Okay, then let him get reset till tomorrow then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if that's what it says. All right, no problem. All right, Robert Lewis, where are you?
Conti, Your Honor.
Here I am, Your Honor.
Is this 30 day? Hello, sir, how are you?
Good.
You have a burglary, unoccupied conveyance. Your attorney filed a motion to release you. The state hadn't filed formal charges. State, did you file formal charges by the hearing today?
Yes.
Okay, so what's his bond? Filed as charged?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna deny the motion. The state had till today. They filed. Your bond still the same it was originally, which is?
$10,000 on a warrant for violating pretrial.
Okay, $10,000. Okay, sir, good luck to you.
Is there any way I could get back on pretrial?
You'll have to speak to your public defender. Mr. Reedy, I'll let you answer that.
You'll have to speak to your division judge.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a medical reset, I believe.
Tony Tetrault.
Conti again, Your Honor.
Boy, you really got it today. For once, you're first, right? You usually last.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, he has a $99 bond. What happened with the other counts?
He's being held on a no bond violation of probation hold. He was ROR'd on the charge we did not make a filing decision on. Your Honor wanted him to be brought back, I guess, to ROR him on the case that's in front of Judge Colra.
For the felony petty theft?
Yes.
No, it's per the public defender. That wasn't per me.
Well, but Your Honor could say no, bring it up before Judge Colra, because he wasn't before the court yesterday. They made a request, Mr. Linder. But you don't have to accept it, Your Honor.
Yes, I do. And I'll tell you why. They're requesting to have it set for a hearing, and instead of me unilaterally making a decision, let them, they want to set it. I don't know. Maybe there's something they want to advise me or you about that we don't know. Hold on. So, Mr. Reedy, tell me what it is you'd like to argue, since your office, Mr. Vargas, is the one that wanted to set this. You want to call Mr. Vargas and speak to him?
No. I can't make an argument one way or the other.
All right, well, I don't know why your office had me set it, so.
I don't know.
All right, so I'll deny the motion.
It's filed.
What's the matter?
Mr. Reedy was asking me if the information had been filed, and I advised him it was.
Who, for Candido Lopez?
No, on the last case we called, on the case that was before the court, he was inquiring if the charge had been filed.
Candido Lopez.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
It's 18.
Is this on Lopez?
Yeah. 18-10577
Okay.
Hello.
You want to do
Hold
ROR?
on one moment. What's Vargas's first name? Alejandro? All right, Candido Lopez.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are you, sir? Paul Ryan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, this is a 30-day motion on a grand theft. The state has filed an information for petty theft. I have no objection to the court granting this motion. And also, I spoke with Mr. Reedy. He's preparing an order for the court to sign that I have no objection to, RORing him on the new petty theft case, which is under case number 18-10577 MM10A. And that way, he should be able to go to Dade County on his violation of probation.
So what do you want me to put here, Ivy, on the grand theft, ROR, granted ROR, and then you do the petty theft is gonna be ROR?
No, well, we don't have the instruction sheet, so as far as we're concerned, we can't do the change of charge until we get the instruction sheet, so granted is ROR.
Okay. It's gonna be ROR anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sean Queer, Wolfork.
Hello.
Williams, we got one coming.
And, Your Honor, this is a 30-day motion.
Sure.
The state filed an information on grand theft auto and criminal mischief. We did not file the missile into a dwelling, so that $5,000 bond will come off. It's
So how much is it for the grand theft?
and
For
the
the
criminal
30?
mischief, $1,300 plus GPS.
So 100, 300?
I'm sorry, 1,300.
That's what I asked, okay. So, ma'am, I'm gonna deny the motion. The state filed formal charges. The good news is they didn't file the second-degree felony, which is the missile into a dwelling or vehicle. That's the highest of the 3 charges. They did go ahead and file the grand theft auto and criminal mischief. Total bond is $1,300, okay? Can't make that bond, speak to your public defender about reducing the bond. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. Rodney Holloman.
Conti, Your Honor, coming up.
Probably. This is Rodney Holloman, Your Honor.
Yes,
The state has
sir.
not. The state has not filed information he's entitled to release.
Okay, so, Mr. Holloman, good news. You're gonna be released. The state didn't file formal charges. However, that does not mean that the state is not gonna file formal charges in the future. You need to keep in touch with your attorney, the public defender, or you can always check online. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Hi.
Go to Mr. Holloman
Sure.
to tell him I was here. His mother's supposed to hire me on this case Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm not officially the attorney of record.
All right. Bring back Mr. Holloman.
Rodney, just want to tell you I'm here, Barry. Your mom's supposed to hire me Saturday.
Yes, sir.
All right,
How you
call.
doing, Barry?
Good to see you. Call me when you can.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And what's your name, sir, for the record?
Oh, Barry Butin, B-U-T-I-N.
Hi, Mr. Butin. How are you?
Good afternoon.
I knew I recognized you.
Handsome guy.
Yeah, the handsome guy. Wendy Riley.
I have some
Good
information.
afternoon, Your Honor.
Where are
Wendy
you?
Riley at Paul Ryan.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes,
this is a second look. It was 2 counts of battery. You may recall, was earlier this month, you did a $1,000 bond on each count, pre-trial release of the GPS. The allegations were when law enforcement were called to a disturbance when they arrived. Miss Riley was in front of the home, bloody. yelling profanities at the police. The allegations were she attacked one victim who had just recently had surgery, hitting her in the area she had surgery. Another victim came to help the victim, and Ms. Riley went after her. Here's what's going on. She posted the $1,000 bond on the top 2 counts of the battery. Pretrial has not been able to verify a GPS residence. I actually spoke with her bondsman today, and he gave me the name of the gentleman that posted or was the indemnitor on the bond, and who advised the bondsman, yes, there's a friend that lives down the street where she could reside. The bondsman, when he saw that she hadn't been released, tried to get in touch with him, hasn't heard back. I have this person's name and phone number that I can give to pretrial.
Sure. Well, why don't you speak to this person so we can just move on today? Just hold on one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you do? And I also spoke to one of the alleged victims who has advised me. She has known Ms. Riley, not closely, but she's known of her for most of her life. Where this incident happened was this victim's uncle's home, where Ms. Riley was staying at that time. She's really more friendly with her uncle. I've been advised there's been mental health issues and substance abuse issues for a lengthy period. There were recent priors out of Monroe County, and all these things are what the court took into consideration when setting the bond and release conditions.
So, ma'am, do you have a place you can live?
Yes, I would like to go back to the village. It's owned by Nancy Williamson. It's a halfway. She has 9 different houses. I lived there last year. I graduated after spending 9 months there. I need to get back into halfway, so I'm doing my program 100%, not living somewhere else. I know what I need. I need to be in my recovery program. And I talked to Nancy about...
What's Nancy's number?
That I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Her name is Williamson, and it is the Villages. It's a halfway center for women.
Do you know that? Do you know that number?
No, she told us she was at Foundation.
Yeah. And I spoke with Ms. Monty.
Were you at the Foundations before?
Yes. And Foundations is possible too. On Friday, I get my check for $766 deposited to my account, so I have the money to pay these halfways. And I've lived by this since my coma 8 years ago.
And I was
by disability.
I spoke to Ms. Monteith yesterday, and that's the same information I received.
All right, I'm going to deny it without prejudice. Tell you what, Mr. Reedy, get the number, call them up. You can give it, she can go. The bond's been paid. All right, well, maybe you can have a seat, ma'am, and
okay.
Maybe you have a phone number. I'll
get a hold of my attorney then, right? Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Victor James.
Compton, Your Honor. He's coming up.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. He has a $749 bond.
Yes, Your Honor. We originally took no action on this case on Monday with the belief that it would be faster for him to get into Veterans Court if he was in custody. That's not the case. What I did, Your Honor, I did some research. I spoke to Dennis Alsbury, who is the Assistant State Attorney that represents the state at Veterans Court. And what we have done, because the information I received is he can't get into Veterans Court on an unfiled case that he hasn't been arraigned on.
So that's the program you gave me yesterday.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be able to get into Veterans Court on this case until he gets out of custody. Mr. James has a pending misdemeanor theft at a West Satellite. He was actually scheduled for arraignment on the 16th. He obviously couldn't be brought there because he was arrested on this case on the 15th. But his arraignment was scheduled for the 16th. So Mr. Alsbury is working to get that case put into Veterans Court. In the meantime, Your Honor, there's a stand-down program this Friday from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the courthouse. Mr. James, They're going to be offering a lot of services to veterans at this program. Many services. They can provide you assistance. Is that something you'd be interested in going to?
Well, if it's in-house, sir.
It's at the courthouse, but they're going to have people from the VA there.
Yes, and what are you saying?
Is that something you would be interested in going to get assistance?
Yes, if they'll help me along the way as far as getting into Veterans Court. Yes, sir.
Do you have a VA health card or a DD 214?
I have one, but all during my eviction was lost from my apartment because the last hard address that I gave was my apartment number 540 Northwest 4th Avenue, apartment 312, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33311. I was evicted, and everything that I own is lost. My driver's license, my DD 214 birth certificate, and everything.
I spoke with Mr. Alsbury about that because I had a concern that he might not be able to get access to those cards in advance. They're going to work with him. It's okay. And they can also assist him in getting those documents.
So what are you asking me for today?
He needs to be ROR'd because he has to be out of custody. But I just want to let Mr. James know. Mr. James, we're going to set it up. There's a flyer here that the jail's going to give you upon your release. It has the date where it's at the courthouse, which is
the main courthouse.
The main courthouse in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Do you think you'll be able?
Behind the library?
Your Honor, could we possibly? Is there any way? Can we have him brought to Maine before he's released, so that way he just has to go from there?
Sure, I can do an order.
Okay. It's this Friday, Mr. James, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Today's Wednesday.
I know.
Where's he going to go?
Where does he live? Where do you reside, Mr. James?
I'm homeless, sir.
So why doesn't he go to the CRC for 24 hours tomorrow morning? Tonight.
Where is the CRC?
North Lauderdale, but they'll give him,
All right. I mean, I'm doing everything I can here. I can't do everything, so.
So why don't you call up Miss Gelpy and ask him if they can give him a bus pass for the day? What he wants to do. You want to call her?
Mr. James.
Yes, sir.
You're going to get a flyer upon your release from the jail.
How's he going to get a flyer upon his release?
Because especially if they're bringing him to Maine, I spoke with confinement status about getting this flyer to release the release desk.
Why can't we get them to scan it now and send it over via email to Deputy? Do you have some place we can send you a flyer to give to this gentleman?
We have fax numbers, yes. Hold on.
Do you have a fax, somebody? You have one, right? Yes. I thought faxes were obsolete.
So anyway, Victor, the flyer you're going to get has the location, the time. It also has the name, Assistant State Attorney Dennis Alsbury. If you have any issues, ask for him, okay?
I will. And one more question. Yes. I will be getting into Veterans Court, right?
You're gonna be getting into Veterans Court on your misdemeanor theft.
Yes.
We don't know what's going to happen on the felony case until whether it's filed or not. The important thing is you'll have access to programs on Friday and services to get you the help you need, okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm going to write it on this, so. What's the fax?
Okay, I have two of them. They're 954-978-1110. And the other one is 954-978-1119.
And Your Honor, the other thing request
Let me ask you this. Who's going to get, are you sending it now?
Oh, no, I was going to wait for you to get the quote.
Okay. No, hold on. I want to give you this. Who's the ASA?
Dennis Alsbury.
Spell Alsbury.
ALSBERRY.
Okay.
And one more question, sir. It's for Friday. I have to go to the meeting.
Yeah, it's at the main courthouse, Victor.
It's outside, I think.
I'm
9 a.m. to 3:30. Show up at the main courthouse. You can't miss it.
Will do.
They got haircuts and hot meals and all
Well, he
kinds of
doesn't
stuff
look
going
like he
on.
needs a haircut, so.
All right.
You may not need a haircut. Maybe just a trim of the beard.
Your Honor, there's one other matter I'd like to address with regards to Mr. James, just so it doesn't have to be dealt with on a later date. The capias that was ordered out of West Satellite, and I'm going to get the case number now, I'm going to be asking that capias be vacated.
All right, have him do an order.
He failed, as I stated, he didn't appear because he was in custody at downtown at the jail, and as you're aware, there's an administrative order that BSO is not permitted to transport in custody inmates to the satellite courthouses. And that,
Can you do an order as to that?
and that is, it's case number 18-17.
Did you send that? I want to see if he
07
gets it.
MM30A. The charge is petty theft. And
Oh, you did send it.
Victor, I just spoke with Dennis Osbury. I told him that if you have any issues, you're going to ask for him on Friday, so he's aware. Okay?
I wrote the name on the paper, ASA for Assistant State Attorney. Did you call Miss Gelpy?
You got that, Victor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the facts right now.
Well, that's why you got to call Miss Gelpy. They'll probably give him a bus pass. Or if they have at 9 a.m., they can drive him over, huh? They'll make a provision. Call her up and ask her. They'll make a provision. You want her number? 954-606-0911. 606-0911. Elizabeth Gelpy. Yep. And if she's not available, speak to someone else. And ask him, say, can you drive him to the courthouse at 9 a.m.? I bet you they will, because that's when they come and pick up. If not, we'll have someone coming. Deputy at North, Paul Conti, did you get that?
Yes.
You got the email or the fax?
No, I gotta go to the fax machine and get it, but I heard everything you said.
Okay. All right, so if you don't get it, let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so just have him have a seat. We'll recall him and see what happens when Mr. Reedy's going to call up Miss Gelpy in a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Felix Leo.
Posted bond.
Bonded. Mark Holzer.
It should be a Paul Ryan.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so you have driving while license is suspended, $750 bond. Failure to register a motor vehicle.
No.
He was arrested. This was a Sunday, magistrate. What say you? Can you bond out?
No. I've been trying to call somebody, but nobody's answering.
Okay, don't talk about the facts of your case. What's his priors? Obviously, I know what one of them are.
The issue is, if I had to guess what the issue Judge Fine may have had, is that he has a pending DWLS before Judge Schiff right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Your Honor ROR'd him on that DWLS July 6th of this year.
Did he fail to appear at all? Sir, you can't keep driving. I don't want you responding, but I'm just like, don't even respond. I'm just telling you.
I sold the truck. I no longer own a vehicle.
Sir, don't even talk.
Yes, Your Honor. When you ROR'd him, he had a hold on a capias at that time.
Okay, standard pretrial. You have to report within 24 hours of your release, sir.
Okay, can they, last time I was on that, they made me drive there. Can they just call in this time? Because I don't want to drive. I mean, I sold the truck, so I don't have a vehicle
I'm going to have
anymore.
you call in 7 days a week.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Every morning you're calling in. You miss
That-
one time?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. It's easier for me to call than it is for me to get a ride.
Well, you are going to have to report one time in person
Yeah,
the first
that's
time.
fine. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
Deputy,
fine.
can you give him a map?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Report within 24 hours. Don't mess it up.
I won't. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Yes, I will.
Count 1, ROR to standard pretrial. Count 2 is no charge. I'm learning, Ivy. Okay, and then the next one we have is DeAnthony Rutledge,
He's here at Maine.
$1,100 bond.
Judge, he can't afford it. Unfortunately, he's homeless.
What's his prior state?
This year alone, he's pled out a grand theft and resisting without violence and a petty theft and unlawful use of false name ID.
Did he fail to appear in court?
One moment.
Obviously, if he resolved them, he showed up at the end.
Well, not obviously. He had the theft and unlawful use of false name ID. He pled out when he was in custody for failing to appear in court.
Okay.
He also had a Palm Beach County hold for a grand theft at that time.
Does he still have that or no?
I have no idea if that case is still pending or not.
How old is your client?
He's 27 years old. Judge, been here his whole entire life.
All right, I'm going to put him on standard pretrial.
Listen to the judge. Yeah, that's it.
All right, you have to report within 24 hours of being released. Call in 2 times a week.
Yes, ma'am.
No reporting after court. Reporting 1 time a month in person. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. And that's only on count 1. Yes, ma'am. Let me just finish this one thing. Hold on. I'm sorry. 1 is ROR to standard pretrial. Cannabis. I'm only putting him on standard pretrial, Miss Patrice, for Rutledge on the felony, the misdemeanor or ROR. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Possession of MDMA.
Yeah.
Count 1, when you
For
say-
who?
Oh, Holzer. Count 1, you said RR to pretrial, but...
Hold on. Yep.
I don't have the stamp. It only goes through your copy, not my copy.
Oy.
Sorry. Sorry, thank you.
Hold on, I'll give it to you right now.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. What'd you find out? I knew they would. Okay, James Victor Conti.
He's coming.
I'll let you do the honors since you did all the work.
I think Eric should do the honors.
I was going to say, what? I don't know what you're about to tell him. So.
All right. Mr. James, we're going to transport you to the main jail and then up to the reception center.
Yes, sir.
By 9 o'clock tonight, they'll be taking you up there. And then on Friday morning, they're going to make arrangements for you to come back downtown Fort Lauderdale to attend this program, okay?
Great, thank you, sir.
Okay.
And thank you, ma'am.
Just make
You're
sure you
welcome.
explain
Until you
everything to
thank
them
the
when you
state
get there,
attorney.
but they have all your information already.
Okay.
Okay?
And did you also put note that I have no identification at all?
Well, you can worry about that when you get there. They'll help you out with all that stuff.
They know that. They're aware of that. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Linder.
No problem.
Let us know if you didn't get that fax. Shannon
I'll
Grog.
call Mr. Reedy.
Thank you.
All right.
Shannon Grog.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's going to do one. I hope Mr. Reedy's going to do one. Mr. Reedy. Henderson. Order. That's what I thought. That's what Ivy asked. He's on it. Shannon Grog.
Preston. Hello. Hi, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here, Your Honor. Early this afternoon, it showed that her bond was being posted. Now it's showing that it's been returned to,
Do you know what happened?
I have no idea what happened.
Maybe someone was supposed to bring money and didn't, and
For whatever reason, the bail company asked for the bond back, I guess.
Can I get out on pretrial or something?
Ivy, maybe you can enlighten me?
I have to call the release list, because I don't have
It just says bail Miami.
This is what?
I'll show you.
Ma'am, do I qualify for pretrial, please?
Hold on, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And if I could have back that veterans order, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you come down for a moment? I have something for you to do.
Sure.
Thank you. State, what's your position on a pretrial?
I have to look up her record now because when I checked before, I was showing a bond was being posted. So I really didn't look any further.
Well, if you can look, because I have a feeling we're going to be at the same place, so.
I'm looking right now.
My first time ever.
What?
This will be my first time ever getting pretrial.
So she's bonding?
No, she's not bonding. So that means she's bondable.
I don't understand what that means.
The bondsman pulled the bond back. The bondsman is no longer interested in
Changed his mind.
Okay, for some reason, the bondsman, I don't know why, is no longer interested in bonding you out, so something happened along somewhere. So, state, what's your position on standard pretrial?
I'm looking up her priors right now, Judge.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I live at 15740 Northeast 15th Avenue in North Miami Beach, Florida.
Now I see. My guess is,
Mr. Reedy, you want to find out maybe a little bit more about your client, maybe?
yeah, my guess is that the bondsman and quite possibly Judge Fine Judge Fine she has 2 warrants right now. Active warrants for failures to appear one's out of New Jersey.
Well, if she has failures to appear, I'm going to leave $1,000 bond in place.
They're out of state. They're non-extraditable, ma'am. They're non-extraditable. They're not out of state and they're non-extraditable.
All right, here's the thing, ma'am. It doesn't matter if they're non-extraditable. The fact of the matter is you fail to appear.
I know, can I please just get out on pride pretrial?
I'm not doing it. I'm going to leave the $1,000 bond in place. I'm sorry, ma'am.
But I'm not going to get bonded.
I don't know what to say.
So what's going to happen now? Please, ma'am.
So, Mr. Reedy, can you talk to your client? I'm going to deny the motion for a second look. Mr. Reedy, can you call your client?
Yeah.
All right, have a seat, ma'am. Your attorney's going to call you. Thank you. Gary Altman.
Here at Maine, Judge.
Hi, Mr. Altman.
How you doing?
What's this motion? I don't have.
It's a second look.
I don't have anything on him.
It's a possession of heroin.
Oh, I see. 1,000, 1250.
Correct.
Okay.
And he's been in since the 27th. Judge, he's homeless and nobody can post his monetary bond.
What's his prior state? Who set his bond, me or Judge Fine?
Judge Fine. This is his 10th arrest this year. At least one of them was on a failure to appear.
But I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, most of them, I believe, were city ordinances case, Judge. All of them.
But it's still a 10th arrest. Let him look for a program. I'll do a GPS. So explain that to him. All right, so I'm going to deny it without prejudice for a program. Keep up with it. Mr. Romero, I'm not going to keep it in my file. Just if you want me to reset it, someone in your office can just let me know.
He has an assigned public defender, and that's what I'm telling him to do.
Okay, great.
So you don't want me to prepare ordinance?
No.
See.
I'm putting it right here.
Got something on your head.
I'm going to put without prejudice. What?
I was joking with Michelle.
Oh, her head? Come over here.
I was just joking that she had.
Where's your ears? There she is. Come on. Show everybody your ears. This she scanned, but I want this scan with it too. Ask her if she could give this to him. Okay? Yeah, maybe Miss Patrice will scan it.
Your Honor, the last case we have, if you're ready, Your Honor.
Hold on, I just want to write.
Okay.
ROR. No, we didn't. We put them on. No, put it ROR. Mr. Reedy, shame on you. You put your client on pretrial. I ROR'd him.
Is that Victor James? Oh yeah, no.
Mr. Reedy.
It's amazing. I'm working to get him out. Brian's giving him harder release conditions. What's going on here?
Charlie 3.
All right, I put without prejudice to be placed on GPS if program is found, custody to custody. All right. So we're done with the felonies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Hold on, we got someone here, Mr. Romero. I don't want to switch.
I think that's Eric Mack.
What do you have?
It is. It's Eric Mack, Judge.
Yeah,
The last person.
The issue is, Your Honor, he's being held locally on resisting without violence and loitering and prowling, $125 bond. The sticking point is he has a violation of parole hold.
I'm sorry, say that again?
He's got a parole hold.
I'll grant it. I'll give him a $1 bond. How about that?
Either way,
Yeah. Yes, and he knows, Judge. He has to wait
laughing,
for
but
someone
you know
from the
what?
court board to
If
come
it
see him.
gets resolved, you'll be
Correct.
laughing while they're paying your $1 bond. Good luck.
Good luck, sir.
At least you get game
Judge-
time. If he wants, I'll ROR him. I don't care.
No, I'll leave it $1.
Okay.
Judge, I just wanted. I didn't get a document today.
Your Honor.
Did we get one from John Ingo?
Your Honor. No.
Yes.
No, it's priority. Ma'am, there's one, you said that was the last one, but we actually have one here who's been waiting, Gillamore Chaffond.
All right, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Main jail. What are you saying, Mr. Romero? And then I got to go to North Road.
The only thing, I didn't get a docket this morning, so I just wanted to bring it to your court's, to your Honor's attention.
I don't know what the problem is.
It was good, and I was getting them every day, checking to make sure we took care of everybody, but today I didn't get one. Great Halloween.
Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
No, I'm here.
It blacked out. PM Magistrate Docket, is this it, Darlene Gilbert?
No, that's the regular.
This is the regular?
The regular PM docket.
MN Daily Docket. She sent it to Brian Reedy. She didn't include you.
Oh. I guess I got on her bad side.
Verna Cooper.
I don't see her name on here, Sheila's or...
Just CC it back and tell her to make sure she puts Mr. Romero. He's the main jail public defender.
Appreciate that.
What is it, A. Romero?
H. Romero.
Oh, Hector, that's right. I'm sorry, H. And Miss Patrice.
Great. Brian, who do they have in North? Who do they have in North?
Yeah, I don't see your name, Eric.
I'm what?
Brian Reedy is the only one that's on here. You rank on this list today for the docket. You were the only one that got it. Everybody is writing the emails, calling the office. They cannot hear me.
Who do they have in North?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I thought you knew who it was.
The audio was better last week, and then for some reason, I've noticed it was cutting in and out this week.
Let me go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
How about now? Is it louder?
Right now, it's fine. It's weird. Sometimes it just cuts in and out.
Well, you've been going in and out all day. It's been black and white, and you know, like how the
wow.
screen turns black. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you, Judge.
See you tomorrow. Happy
Thank you.
Halloween. Have fun with your kids.
Thank you.
Did you send this to Ms. Gelpy?
Not yet. I don't need this, by the way. I have it.
Okay.
North Broward?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, who is this?
This is Mr. Gillimore Chiffon, first name.
Yeah, Ms. Monteith added him to the second docket. I think I looked up his case earlier. This should be pretty easy to deal with.
It's granted for a second look.
Chiffon.
Okay, who is this? I'm sorry.
It's Chiffon Gillimore, Your Honor. He's being held.
Here you go. Did you give a copy of that to Ivy?
No.
Yes.
Yep. He's being held on his felony VOPs. He was reinstated or sentenced to community control to GPS, and he's before the court on a misdemeanor possession of cannabis with a $100 bond. I have no objection to an ROR, considering he's going to have a GPS monitor on his felony case when he's released.
You agree with that, sir?
I would like to resolve it if possible.
Well, let's see what you have an attorney here in the courtroom. Let's see what he has to say.
Chiffon, Shafon, Gallimore, Gallimore. I'm going to check one of these probation cases to see what the basis was.
Did you put the driver's license clinic on our old courtroom door?
No, not yet. I have one.
You have to make another one for here.
Gallim.
You got to email it to Eric, Hector,
Imore.
and Brian.
Oh, okay.
Here, give me this just for a second. I want to do something.
Let me just check one thing. Yeah, but I want to check the. Okay, Mr. Gallimore, when did you resolve your VOP?
I resolved them yesterday, sir.
Okay, and that was with the new amended violation of probation warrant,
Yes.
which alleged, among other things, the cannabis case.
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, he can, and Mr. Reedy, if you can confirm this, he can plea this case out and it won't affect his probation because this case was one of the bases for his violation of probation that he resolved yesterday.
Sounds good to me. It's possession of cannabis. How about a withheld and
That would be the offer. Yeah, that'd be the offer.
So what you want to do, sir? Withheld and court costs?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Then you can put it down. I don't want you to fall. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State your first and last name. Spell your last name.
Chiffon Gallimore, Gallimore.
All right. What's the case number for the clerk, Mr. Reedy?
I have it. It's 189975
99. Hold on. 18. Say it again. She was
9975. You got it. Yeah, MM10A.
Okay, it's my understanding you want to resolve your possession of cannabis under 20 grams case today. Give up all your rights to a trial. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
You under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
How do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to possession of cannabis under 20 grams?
No contest.
All right, courts, can you feel it's in your best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. Withhold of adjudication, court costs of $308. I'll give you 6 months to pay that. Partial payments are accepted. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Hope you feel better.
You too.
All right. All right, North Broward, anybody left?
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
You too, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Okay, Conti's done. Paul Ryan's done. Main Jail is done.